Welcome in to the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview, proudly presented by Arkansas Tech University, D3 Auto Sales, and by Metcalf Trucking Company. Today we sit down with the head coach of the Bauxite Miners, Caleb Perry.
All right, I'm here with Coach Caleb Perry, head football coach at Bauxite. Coach Perry, thank you for having me today, and thank you for taking time out of your day for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about the culture here at Bauxite. Obviously, you guys have some traditions and things like that here behind us. You got Welcome to the Pit. So tell us a little bit about what that means and just about the tradition and the culture here.
Yeah, so Bauxite is an old mining town. There's a lot of history. All the aluminum for the planes in World War II came from Bauxite, Arkansas. Bauxite's a mineral. If you don't know what that is, they go down in the ground. They used to pull that stuff out of the ground. Those guys back in the day, they were some tough men, and that's really kind of the foundation of our culture. Really, it's built on toughness, and hard work, and just dedication. We were laid a great foundation by those people that came before us, and even the teams before us. So many Bauxite teams represented that name so well. One thing I know about Bauxite is we've got some very, very tough kids that love to work hard. We're not afraid, and so we feel like we've got a good little group put together this year, and hopefully we can turn some heads and win some good games.
Tell me a little bit about your season last year. What your takeaways were from it, and maybe some things that you learned from last season that will help you go into this season.
Yeah, so last year we tied for conference championship. We ended up making a little bit of a run in the playoffs. We ended up losing to Warren at Warren. It was a close game, kind of down to the wire. They beat us out. It was a good game. Our kids came away with a lot of confidence. We had a lot of success. We had a lot of fun last year. We've got some good kids coming back, and hopefully we can just continue to build on the success that we had last year and make this a good run for us.
Tell me a little bit about your roster. Some standout players, guys who you think might be leaders of your team, and then maybe some guys you think have had a good offseason that'll stand out on the field this year.
Yeah, so we've got a great group of seniors, really led by Marcus Wimberly, Ryan Hoskins, Gus Evans, Gavin Graves, Jaden Sherrod. There's a bunch of guys in there that have done a lot of work, have been in the program for a lot of years. Braden Ginn, Austin Glover, just some guys that have really sacrificed a lot and have been a part of a lot of wins. And, Austin Camus. So it's some. We're excited about this group of seniors, and they've done a fantastic job. I mean, as far as players, they're standout players. Tony Fox is a player that has he's also a senior, and he's a guy that's coming back. We've got Bernie Fox is kind of a defensive end linebacker for us. It's a good football player. And I can just go down the list. There's a lot of guys on here that really need to have their name shouted out. Eli Perry, he'd be our quarterback. He started as a ninth grader for us last year. That was something we were really nervous about bringing him up. It's something we felt like was a need, and he did a great job. We feel like he's gotten bigger and stronger and more confident. So I think we'll have one of the better quarterbacks in 4A, which obviously that can have an impact on your year. But Parker Orange, great linebacker for us. We just got some really good football players that we're excited about coming through. It should be a good year for us.
Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit about what this team expects from this season. You know, Harding Academy has kind of been the perennial powerhouse. They move up to another level now with conference realignment. So tell me about where this team sees themselves and you know what the goal might be that they're working toward every day.
Well, you know, I think every kid, you know, what's your goal? We want to win state, and that's obviously that is a goal of ours. But I think we want to keep the goals week to week. Really, we want to be 1-0 at the end of every week. I think winning conference. We have not yet won the 7-4A. Yet we're back down south with some really good teams: Arkadelphia, Nashville, Malvern. Those you know. Ashdown, those have typically been the teams who have really competed for that conference title. And so, you know, I know that maybe we were ranked above some of those teams in the rankings. Rankings don't mean anything to me. We haven't beaten anybody yet. But obviously it's an honor for people to respect us in the rankings that way. But we got to go out there and we've got to beat some really good teams with a lot of tradition. And, you know, those teams, They don't like the fact that we got ranked higher, and so it could be interesting this year. But I think just some practical goals, trying to get a high seed. You want to win conference, get a first or second seed, which helps you get to Thanksgiving. To me, you can't win state if you don't get to Thanksgiving. So playing on Thanksgiving, and then from that point on, it's always a toss up with. There's a lot of good teams left. Once you make it to Thanksgiving, there's some really good football teams out there.
So I'm interested if you guys use those rankings that you guys might be ranked lower as motivation. You know, when I got here, some of the kids, asked me if I was from Arkansas Sports Network and where we were going to rank them and things like that. So obviously the kids see it, you guys see it. So is that motivation for you guys? If there's a team in your conference or that you guys are rivals with that is ranked ahead of you guys?
I think we were picked first in our conference. I think one poll has us at number 3 in the state. I mean, to me, all that is too far out to really think about. I certainly don't like having a bullseye on us, but at the same time, it's an honor for people to respect our program the way that they do. And I think everybody that's going to play us knows that we're going to have a pretty good little group, and hopefully we can put the rankings where they're supposed to be, and we can fulfill those rankings. So. But to me, looking at rankings, you can get delusional looking at that stuff. It's almost a distraction. But certainly we are honored by the respect that we were given with the rankings.
Tell me about your schedule this year. Obviously, you said you guys moved conferences, if I heard you correctly. And so, conference realignment has caused a big shakeup in Arkansas high school football. So tell me about how that affected you guys with your schedule this year, and then who you guys scheduled in non-conference and why you scheduled those teams.
So we were in the 4-4A last year, and we had previously, for 2 years, we were in the 4-4A, and previously we were in the 7-4A. Bauxite historically has struggled in the 7-4A. We had a little bit of success in our junior high years a couple years ago in the 7-4A, so it'll be interesting for us to go back down and compete against those teams. Like I said, those teams, there's some tremendous talent. The coaching all across the state in 4A is really good. So we just want to take each week one week at a time. Help me remember your second part of your question there.
Who do you guys schedule in non-conference, and why you guys schedule those teams that way?
So we left Monticello on there. That's a team that it's been a great game for both groups. We've won some, they've won some. We've got Glen Rose is an old rival from back in Bauxite's heyday. We've got them back on our schedule. And then Magnolia, we're going to play a 5A team before we go into conference. So that could be interesting because they have a lot of talent. You know, anytime you're playing a school with, you know, twice as many kids or a lot more kids than you have, you know, it could be interesting how it all plays out. But we wanted to make sure we had somebody pretty tough on there, and feel like all three of those teams are actually pretty formidable teams.
So, tell me what your guys' scheme looks like on offense and defense, and what your expectation is for those groups this season.
So I stem from the Gus Malzahn coaching tree. I coached with Josh Floyd, who was the head coach years ago at Shiloh. So I run the same system that you know, I ran back with Josh Floyd years ago. And it's, you know, we want to be able to run the ball as much as we can, but I would say that we're, you know, probably 60-40, something like that, run the pass, somewhere in that neighborhood. You know, obviously it depends on what you're good at. If you can't throw it, you can't throw it. If you can't run it, you can't run it. You know, so you got to be proficient to be able to stay balanced. You know, defensively we're multiple. You got to be multiple nowadays. You know, we base out of probably a 4-3 defense, but we also have a 3-3 defense. You know, we present different coverages. It's, you know, nowadays offense, there's so many different types of offenses we play. You have to be multiple in defense.
Last question for you, Coach. What would you guys have to do this season for you and your community and your staff to consider it a successful season?
Well, I mean, obviously, you know, winning a championship or being close to that, certainly at the conference level, and you know, making a run. I think, you know, like I said, there's a lot that can take place in the course of the season, and so I don't want to define my year based on what I can't foresee. You know, I think making it to Thanksgiving or after would be awesome. You know, I think that would be, you know, winning a conference championship, going undefeated, those types of things. You know, but you don't control that. You take it week by week. You know, there may be different people that get hurt. You know, other teams can be affected by their injuries or by your injuries. So really, we just got to keep it a week to week goal, win the week that we're focused on, and not worry about anything else.
All right, this has been an interview with Coach Caleb Perry, here, head football coach at Bauxite. Coach Perry, is there anything you want to say about your team or your program before we sign off here?
Man, I'm just so excited about the Bauxite Miners. You know, Coach Nutt used to say there's only one Razorback. Well, there's only one Bauxite Miner in the state of Arkansas. And so we have a lot of pride. We're super excited about this group. These kids love each other, man. We got such a great culture. These kids work so hard. I'm so proud of them. Our coaches just sacrifice so much of their time. And man, we really do have a great coaching staff. We got great kids on our team. This is really a great place to be. Bauxite this is an exciting time for our program. You know, we won conference or tied for conference 7th grade, junior high, and high school last year. So we got a lot of really good things happening here, and hopefully we can repeat that this year.
All right, I'm Carson Ward for Arkansas Sports Network. You can find Arkansas Sports Network on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Instagram. We have a lot more interviews coming with coaches from all around the state leading up to the beginning of the football season. So stay tuned right here on the Arkansas Sports Network.
Thanks again for joining us on the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Arkansas Sports Network on YouTube to catch more previews and all the latest updates on your favorite teams.